Have you ever had one of those moments, you sit down, you know exactly what you need to do, and then you just don't? It's that incredibly frustrating feeling like you're just a passenger in your own body, watching yourself scroll on your phone when you should be working. Okay, let's get into this, because what if I told you there's a way to actually grab the steering wheel and take back control?
I mean, this is the big question, right? It's that bizarre gap between what we want to do and what we actually do. And it's so easy to beat yourself up over it, to feel like it's some kind of personal failure. But it turns out you are so not alone in this struggle. Not even close.
Just look at this number. According to the research, a wild 95% of people procrastinate. 95! That's pretty much everybody. So that feeling isn't some unique flaw you have. It's a nearly universal part of being human. And believe me, it doesn't stop there.
On top of that, you've got up to 40% of people who report that they just can't focus on a single task. We're living in this age of constant pings and notifications and distractions. And yeah, our brains are definitely paying the price for it.
And for about a third of us, the problem is even deeper. A full 34% of people have a hard time even sustaining their attention once they finally find it. You put all these numbers together, and the picture is crystal clear. We are in the middle of a serious attention crisis.
So here's the most important thing to get from all this. People don't fail because they're not talented enough or smart enough. They fail because they can't regulate themselves. This isn't a moral issue, it's a biological one. It's a problem with the management, the command and control center of your brain.
So let's meet that command center. The best way to think about it is as the CEO of your brain. Its technical name is the prefrontal cortex, or PFC for short. This is the part of you that's supposed to be in the corner office, making plans, calling the shots, and making sure things get done.
You know, the PFC is often called the seat of humanness, which sounds pretty epic, but it's true. It's the thing that separates our logical, rational thinking from just our raw animal instinct. It's your internal commander, the one in charge of control.
And just like any good CEO, it's got a massive job description. We're talking about managing your working memory, your ability to focus, making all those big choices and decisions, solving problems, even your ability to innovate and come up with new ideas. All of it. When your CEO is strong, you feel like you're in control.
But, and this is a big but, here's where the problem kicks in. Your CEO isn't the only powerful voice in the boardroom. It's in a constant tug-of-war with a much, much older, more primitive system, your basic survival instinct.
And this right here, this is the daily conflict inside your head. On one side, you have your prefrontal cortex, the regulator, calmly trying to say, okay, let's think this through. And on the other side, you've got the limbic system, the reactor, basically screaming fight or flight at the tiniest hint of stress or discomfort.
When these two parts of your brain get out of sync, when there's a major disconnect, that's when all the trouble starts. That feeling of anxiety, endlessly replaying arguments in your head, those are all just symptoms of your CEO losing control to that old-school autopilot survival system.
So the big question is, how do we fix this disconnect? How do we promote our internal CEO and get them back in charge? Well, the solution is actually way simpler and more accessible than you might think. It all starts with one small, simple action every single day. The core idea is a simple tool, a deck of 30 strategy cards. The game plan is easy. Each day, you just pick one card and you dedicate 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes, to a specific exercise designed to strengthen the muscle of your prefrontal cortex.
So for example, you might pull a card and it's something like this, the breath regulation reset. It's just a simple, structured breathing pattern. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 2, you breathe out for 6, hold for 2, and you just repeat that. It's incredibly calm, purposeful, and focused.
But what's really happening when you do this? It's not just about relaxing. This is what's called a bottom-up approach. This kind of breathing directly stimulates your vagus nerve, which is like a superhighway connecting your body directly to your PFC. So by strengthening this nerve, you are literally, physically building up the power of your brain's CEO.
Or maybe you pull another card, something called a self-talk upgrade. Your 5-minute task for the day might be to just internalize this one phrase, to repeat it anytime that self-doubt or fear starts to creep in. I am in charge of my thoughts. It's such a simple way to remind your CEO who's actually running the show.
Or imagine this one, a morning intention. Instead of just waking up and letting your mind immediately drift to all your worries, you take a moment, 10 deep breaths, and you set a purpose, like, today I will lead with clarity.
That simple act tells your prefrontal cortex to take command from the very start of the day.
Now, doing any of these exercises once is nice. But the real magic, the true brain rewiring, happens with consistency. This is how you go from just being a player in the game of life to becoming what we could call an ace player.
And let's be really clear about what an ace player is. It's not someone who just grinds and hustles and struggles harder than everyone else. No way. An ace player is someone who regulates deeper. They have better control over their prefrontal cortex, which lets them navigate challenges with way less effort and way more clarity.
So what does this journey actually look like? Well, the first 30 days are all about just building that consistency. The next 30 are about turning that practice into a real automatic habit. And by day 90, you can start to achieve genuine neuroplastic change. And that's just a fancy way of saying you are literally physically rewiring your brain for better control.
And this isn't just a nice self-help idea. This stuff is backed by solid data from top research papers from places like Stanford. The science is totally clear. Simple, consistent routines are unbelievably powerful. They can change your entire system, from your heart rhythm all the way up to your brain's CEO.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget about just getting through your to-do list for a second. What could you actually create or build or become if you were the undisputed commander of your own focus, your own drive, your own mind?